Hello and welcome to the CHRO Mindset podcast, where we bring you candid, thought-provoking conversations with top HR leaders and experts. And here's your host, Pulkit Joshi. Today we have the privilege of hosting Dr. M.A. Rasheed. Dr. Rasheed currently holds the position of Vice President of People Success of MS Organo Group of Companies, Hyderabad, where he leads the Capability Building Division. In his prior role, he served as the AVP and Head of Group Corporate HR at My Home Group, Hyderabad. Dr. Rasheed accumulated over 27 years in the professional arena. His expertise spans a wide spectrum of strategic HR initiatives, including L&D, organizational development, policy formulation, leadership development, succession planning, and hands-on training of team leaders to enhance their competencies in line with business demands. A distinguished alumnus of the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, Dr. Rasheed holds a PhD focused on employee competencies to manage the evolving business environment from Chitkara University. His professional journey commenced with Sterling Group in Chennai and has included tenures at prominent organizations including GMR Group, Lanco, Sureka Group, and RV Associates and Engineers, where he held the position of Vice President HR. Dr. Rasheed's commitment to personal and professional growth is evident through his active participation in leadership training programs at esteemed business schools, including the ISB and the IIMs. In recognition of his outstanding contributions into the field of human resources, Dr. Rasheed has received numerous accolades, including HR Manager of the Year 2018, awarded by Hyderabad Management Association and presented by the Honorable Vice President of India. His passion for sharing knowledge and nurturing the next generation of HR professionals is evident through his active involvement in academia and industry associations, as well as his role as an honorary academic council member at select universities in India. Dr. Rasheed, thanks for taking out time to speak with us today, and welcome to the CHRO Mindset podcast.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pulkit. So it's my immense pleasure to be part of your initiatives of regarding this kind of podcast with various HR leaders across India. So I love to share the today's topic, whatever we plan today for the leadership coaching and mentoring counseling on the topics. And over to you, Mr. Pulkit, so that we can take this forward to the next level.
Thank you, Dr. Rasheed. Let's start off with an icebreaker question. So what are your views on if you could create an HR themed documentary, what would it explore?
HR themed documentary, out of my 2.5 decades of experience, if this kind of a question comes to me, I really plan a document on performance appraisal system and competency enhancement in workforce, because my deep study on PhD on the subject matter of on a critical study on employee competencies to manage the evolving business environment is my study. So in the competitive scenario in today's in competitive scenario in various industries, whether it's IT, non-IT, manufacturing, FMCG, whatever domain we take, to create a roadmap for the employee competencies enhancement is really lacking in today's industry. So every annual appraisal system is a ritual. There is no a robust process to create a roadmap for every individual to take up the leadership role down the line to meet the business environment. So really, if you ask me, I can create a document on the performance appraisal system, touching upon the various performance appraisal systems which were evolved so far, which were outdated, which are modern, most modern methodologies, and what kind of methodologies help for the business based on the business environment, and what kind of a leadership pipeline they want to develop for the succession plan. All those things in nutshell, I can prepare a document which helps for the business to adopt for their leadership development, so which is my favorite subject. If you ask me, I'll really touch upon the subject of creating a document on performance appraisal system.
Thank you, Dr. Rasheed. Let's keep going and let's now look at your professional HR journey. 3 decades of having led as a leader, right? So we're going to ask one question around a story, so walk us through an example of a time when you had to overcome resistance from employees or managers to implement a new HR policy or practice. That's a very, very, I would say, common challenge that most HR leaders face. So we'd love to know how it stand for you.
Right. It's again an excellent question, Mr. Pulkit. When it comes to the HR policy implementation, every HR leader in the industry, every industry, irrespective of the industry, every HR leader faces that kind of resistance from the workforce to bring that change. Any change is first and foremost, we have to understand the resistance levels. And what is that resistance levels we have to understand. When it comes to the policy, yes, from the policy from top-down approach, when we take a call on implementation of new change on policy process. So my experience goes on particular parameter. Let me talk about it's not a policy, it's again process improvement. Well, when I was heading the HR of GMR's road sector, initially I was with their manufacturing sector for almost 8 years. Then I moved to infra sector. So when I was in their manufacturing business, so we have taken an initiative of implementing TPM initiatives across manufacturing processes. So in that TQM initiatives, we initiated a implementation of Six Sigma projects across our manufacturing units. The manufacturing business of GMR is like the sugar, swallow-wise, and breweries. So at a later stage, breweries we sold out to other companies, and sugars we retained for a couple of years. So in sugars, we implemented the Six Sigma project. So when we initiated this total quality management initiatives to enhance the process and add value to the business in terms of reducing various process initiatives across these manufacturing businesses in GMR. So as a HR from the corporate, we tried a lot to implement the Six Sigma projects in various manufacturing plants of GMR. We faced some kind of resistance that these kind of projects may not help us in any manner. Then we took the confidence of all the leaders, stakeholders of all these department heads across all the plants. We conducted various awareness programs. How this process helps to improve our process and reduce the defects and enhance the productivity. So all these things in case studies, we train all these people. So they convinced with us, yes, really these are the initiatives which are really required in our process industry, all our sugar plants. And we took their consensus first. So before implementing, what we did, we collected the consensus, collected the inputs, understood their problems of implementation. Thereby, we bought their confidence and we built a consensus between leaders and the HR initiative. So these add value to the business. So thereby, your life is easy. So your day-to-day operations gives a lot of value in terms of whatever you are doing. It reduces your time, it reduces your effort, it reduces your energy. So it value to the business. So we convinced them to take up this initiative. So we bought the consensus. So any change or any process implement or any HR policy implementation, it takes little time to convince the people. So we understand that very well that first thing is before initiating itself, if we build that consensus, so any change, they take the ownership. So we as a HR, we are the facilitators. So we facilitate that. So building that consensus among the business stakeholders is a foremost important task before implementation of those things. In such case, what happens, when we build this consensus, so it's easy for implementation. So they want that change. So all line managers are open to take up the thing because we built that consensus. We convinced that this change helps your life easy. So your day-to-day operations are in such a way that it is a foremost responsibility of HR. Instead of imposing it, build that consensus prior to that initiative. That after that consensus, it is easy for implementation because they own that. So that way we were very successful in bringing a lot of changes in quality management initiatives, whether it is a balanced scorecard implementation, total quality management implementation like Six Sigma, 5S, and all those kind of process implements. We were very successful in GMR. So I hope I answered this question, Mr. Pulkit.
Thank you, Dr. Rasheed. That's a very, very detailed description of how this panned out for you, and thanks for walking us through that. Let's now focus on one topic which is extremely crucial to how leadership needs to foster an environment of great learning and development within the organizations. And I know it's one topic which you have sort of attained mastery on, and I'm talking about coaching and mentoring. Right. So we're going to spend a little more time focusing on this important topic during the course of next 10 minutes or so. So my first question for you is, how should CHROs tailor coaching and mentoring programs to address the unique needs of different leadership levels within an organization?
Correct. So when it comes to the typing coaching and mentoring programs, so there is a scenario in every organization. There is no enough awareness on coaching and mentoring or counseling programs across any industry. It's my understanding. Maybe I may be wrong also, but my little understanding is in the real sense, there is a lack of awareness of every leader on this particular topic of coaching, mentoring, and counseling. And if we ask what is the difference between coaching, mentoring, and counseling, there are different views from the different leaders. As such, there is no much a strong awareness on these particular topics of coaching, mentoring, and counseling. So if you ask me, first we need to train our leaders to understand the concept of coaching, mentoring, and counseling. So in nutshell, I'll give you the few a snapshot view of definition of coaching, counseling, and mentoring. Mentoring is a long-term a process where there is no need of a task to complete. It's a long-term process, long-term relationship process where objective of the mentoring is to develop the individual in a long-term process. There is no a short-term results out of this mentoring program. So objective of mentoring program is like a long-term program where there is an interest of developing the individual in snapshot view of mentoring. So coming to the coaching is a short-term task-based assignment where we develop the individual's competencies or behaviors and connect them in such a way that he can meet the business goals. It's a target-based short-term assignment. Coaching is something like a leader's job in a short-term way to coach the team or team members on a particular task where he or she is lacking that kind of skills in a short-term manner. In going forward, I'll explain you more about programs, what kind of programs, various methods of the coaching and mentoring also I'll explain it later. So in nutshell, mentoring is a long-term process for individual interest to develop the individual. Coaching is a short-term process where a task-based assigned requirement as a transaction leader to address that kind of a particular skill or trait need to improve. So as a leader, he has to give that particular period of duration to address that particular need. We'll talk more about that. And coming to the counseling is something like it's a past. Something happened in a past way. He or she, means is a team member, he or she has unknowingly, unconsciously committed certain kind of a behavioral traits, where as a leader, you identify that mistakes who is his team members, he or she has committed past in the past 1 year, then conduct a counseling session in such a way that he or she should understand the unknowing or unconsciously in such a way, in a robust way, in a methodological way to understand these unknowing behaviors. So I behave in a different way, which I may not know. So my boss may know, hey Rasheed, this is not the right way what you did last year. By carrying out particular assignment, you behaved like this. No, this is not the right behavior. Success of the team. So this is one of the a transaction leader's job for correcting his team member is a counseling. So now you are getting my point of giving understanding about coaching, mentoring, and counseling. So this is the just thin line difference between these three programs.
Yeah.
So when we want to tailor this program within the organization, again, what is that a mentoring program required for this program, for this business? So as a team, so mentoring program is again long-term organizational objective. So when we want to bring a talent pool from the campus, say for example, 100 people we recruited fresh management trainees across all business verticals of the business. So we want to develop them as leaders. So create such a program down the line, a long-term strategy of 10 years. So make them in such a way that cut short the short-term strategy for this mentoring program. So I talk more about that. So again, the business need. So mentoring program is again long-term strategy. So where we focus more on mentoring program takes the second stage. So most of the organization gives most focus way on coaching, because coaching is short-based, result-oriented programs. It gives a result immediate way to the business. Suppose, for example, so we conducted last year a performance appraisal program where we identified high pots. So when we identified high pots, we engaged them in a certain task to deliver it. So for that, we identified some training needs in that appraisal process. So when we identified training needs, high potentials, and task in front of us as a transaction. So it's again transaction leadership. Again, I have to talk about here, there is a difference between transaction leadership and transformation leadership. So when it comes to the mentoring program, tailoring the mentoring program is a transformation leadership quality. And coaching is something like a transaction. Transaction is something like transaction leader need to execute a project on a planned basis. Suppose, for example, a team lead is a transaction leader. So down the 3 years, 36 months, he has to develop a program and he has delivered to a client. That is his transaction. And now he is a team. First year is assessed his team. So he identified high parts in that team. He identified training needs. So now he has to prepare a coaching program for these guys who needs to deliver on a fast track project. So here it plays. Coaching may be most probably in most of the organization, coaching is their immediate reporting managers. Coach may be an immediate reporting manager. Engaging outside, it's a rare scenario, because as a team manager, as a transaction leader, we know better than anybody else about his team strength. So a team member's strength and weakness, he knows better than anybody else. So coach plays vital role here to provide a comprehensive feedback to his team member so that he or she can meet the expectations of the team leader. So this is what is a program required for the transaction leader in the organization based on the project needs. So I'll talk more about that when we talk about coaching methods of various methods of coaching, and I think I addressed the question on mentoring and coaching, and how we tailor the program is again business need.
Great.
So any other questions on this particular question, Mr. Pino?
Dr. Rasheed, let's now talk about any case study where the results of a coaching or mentoring program exceeded your expectations. Would love to know anything that you witnessed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's also a good question on this particular subject of coaching and mentoring. So when it comes to the results exceeding way, I can quote a case study. When I was in GMR, we have acquired airports in Hyderabad. So airport business is a new business in our GMR group. So when we acquired GMR airport first time in 2005, it was completely a new business for all of us. So entire business is new, and hiring talent across the globe is also challenging for HR for us. So what we did, we have engaged experts from the various industries from various countries to come and work on us on a secondment basis. So those experts have given created a robust plan of a coach to provide coaching to our team members on various business verticals, various subdomains of the airport business. So we have seen that kind of extraordinary result outcome on coaching program, because for us, altogether a new venturing into a unknown area, which in India, first time acquiring airport by a private operator is a new business, and acquiring talent across the globe, because in India, getting that kind of a talent to manage the airport is a new for all of us. So we hired a lot of experts from various countries to come here, work with us, and create a coaching programs for all of us in various domains, not only for HR, for all technical business, way it's about airports business development, airports operations, airport execution, planning, designing. So experts from various countries we hired from various domains, and they came on secondment basis, and they created a robust coaching plan for all of us. And today, JMR, how we were successful in acquiring various airports across the globe, and we were very successful in maintaining the Delhi airport, operating Hyderabad airport, Malaysia airport, whatnot, Segway airport. So today, if we talk that kind of a initial uh, acquiring experts from various countries, creating a robust plan on providing coaching to various team leaders and team members, helped us to acquire that kind of a business acumen within GMR Group and managing airports, which has really witnessed across all domains to compete with various bidding processes across various airports in global bidding process, taken to bidding today. Goa Airport, we are like they are constructing. In various other airports at Vizag also they acquired a greenfield project, and Cebu International Project, Turkey, Maldives, all those airports. We were the technically qualified because of those initial programs. What we planned for providing extraordinary coaching from various experts to our team members to equip with that kind of a new what is called technical areas which were not available in India. So today I can rate. So that is what one case study I can talk about, Mr. Pulkit.
Thanks, Dr. Rasheed, for walking us through that case study. Let's continue on this very topic, and now let's also look at how should one address the potential bias when it comes to coaching and mentoring relationships. How should one address that so that there is a fair and equitable experience for everyone?
So it comes to the addressing potential bias in coaching mentoring. See, in mentoring, I with my experience, mentoring is something like a relationship based one creates a mentoring program on a relationship base, because without expecting any results from the mentoring program. So giving a biasness in providing mentorship to someone, my team or anybody, any leader, it may not happen. It's a possibility of percentage of having biasness in providing mentorship or creating that kind of what's called a robust plan for individual development. I don't witnessed or experienced any kind of biasness in mentoring program. But as coaching, yes, there may be a possible biasness, because coaching is again a short-term, what is called short-term result-oriented program, where if something not result-oriented out of our coaching efforts, a leader may tend to come out of from that comfort zone of creating a repeated way of creating coaching to the team members. He or she may give up to the task of providing coaching, because once it fails that coaching effort, he may be biased. It may not work. Let it not carry out this. So he may be biased towards not achieving results in such in a short term, because coaching as a coach, if you see as a coach, when it comes to the coach, immediately you can recollect the behavior of a coach, how he behaves as a coach. If you see a best example of a case study, a cinema, Kabir Khan character in Chak De India, Shah Rukh Khan, how he played a character of Kabir Khan as a coach, how he behaves with the team members. But objective is something like achieving the World Cup. But how he behaves with the team, the rude way he behaves, it's not biased, but its objective is to get the result. So sometimes leaders behave in such a way, such if effort fails, his coaching effort fails, he may be biased towards not accepting that particular team member again to provide coaching. So the best example again, I quoted the cinema of Czech India. I hope I addressed this question, right?
Yeah. No, this is a great answer, sir. Thank you so much. Let's now look at any example in your experience of a coaching program that yielded unexpected positive outcomes for the organization. Please walk us through.
Yes. We have conducted means like out of my professional journey when I left GLR and joined the manufacturing business of 35-year-old business, which is into a business of manufacturing cycle tires and shoes. The 35-year-old company, third generation has taken over the business, and it's like a family business. The third generation, the guy who returned from US after studying, working there in US, he has taken over his grandfather's business, and he identified me as the right person to change the whole business scenario in terms of setting up best-in-class, world-class HR practices, policies, procedures, systems, practices in that company called Hartex Rubber. Hartex Rubber Private Limited is a Hyderabad-based company which sees into manufacturing cycles, tires, and tubes. So I joined them in 2010 as a vice president HR to revamp the whole business in terms of providing best in class processes, practices in the manufacturing business, because I had that experience of GMR's manufacturing, managing HR leadership role and managing the HR of GMR's manufacturing businesses of sugar, ferrolyze, jute breweries. So I took that advantage of that experience of implementation of those transformational projects into this assignment of Hartex rubber. So we implemented a program of process enhancements. So process enhancements in cycle time, we lack that expertise within the organization. So again, it's like affordability, bringing an expert from the outside India, maybe it's difficult for us to afford. So what we did, I identified an expert from Germany. We requested one agency which is into bringing German experts, retired professionals on a free basis, because German government provides what is called honorariums to the retired experts, and they engage them in various countries, deploying them at a free of cost. Just we need to pay them accommodation and food, cost of flights. That's it. They will not charge on anything, but they come because German government sponsors their professional fees. So we brought one professional called Renard Stark, who is a process enhancement expert, retired professional. So we brought him to understand our business of a cycle tires manufacturing process. So asked him to provide the complete expertise or coach all our people to enhance our the competencies of process enhancements across this operational shop floors. So he stayed with us for 1 month. He has provided wonderful coaching for all of us in that particular area of manufacturing cycle tires and the process improvements at par with the Maruti's, even Maruti Suzuki's operational efficiencies. So those process enhancement in such a way, he has trained us, he has provided extraordinary coaching, and his efforts of 1 month stay with us to provide coaching to all our shop floor leaders, and has given a lot of process improvements and reducing quality defects, especially when the cycle time, we used to get a lot of rejections from the dealer on quality defects. And after these process improvements and the quality, reducing the quality defects, we could see an enormous change in the business in terms of rejections on basis of quality rejections. So 1 month of coaching has given me a huge value addition in terms of adding the business value in terms of reducing the quality defects and reducing the what's called rejections from the dealers. There were a huge, one tire rejected from the business means like from the dealer is a loss to the company. So if you see the percentage of rejection is reduced to 80%. Is it not a great result of coaching? So I refer this case study. So the robust coaching helps the business in terms of adding value in terms of profitability, direct relation. So this is the best example of how a profitability can enhance by providing a robust coaching to the shop floor managers in such a way that it add value to the business. So I refer this case as out of my experience, Mr. Pulkit.
Thanks, Dr. Rasheed. Amazing example there. And thanks for sharing such insights on this intriguing topic of coaching and mentoring. Now let's switch gears. Let's segue into HR technology as a topic. And my next question for you is, can you share examples of successful strategies where companies have used automation to enhance diversity and inclusion outcomes within their workforce?
So when it comes to the automation, I have experience of implementation of SAP across all the business verticals in my previous and current assignments. So technology, when it comes to the today's scenario, technology disruptions are happening across all the industries, and whether it's a manufacturing, IT, non-IT, FMCG, whatnot. So automation, when it comes to the automation, a robust plan from HR is required. Suppose, for example, in my last company, it was a 20,000 headcount company across globe, and it's like a engineering company, and it's a power generation support. across our clients are different clients, government clients, private clients across the globe. So 20,000 workers out of blue collar employees are 18,000. I think, sorry, out of 20,000, 14,000 are blue collar, 6,000 are white collar. So going for automation across all domains of HR, from hiring to separation. So big challenge for HR. So when we talked about automation of successful strategies across the company, so we implemented this tool on hiring to separation of automation across all functions or subdomains of HR. And the biggest challenge we faced is, again, clients. So each client is a different, what's called different pay structure. Each client is on different timings. Each client is in different time zone. So connecting all this in one go in automation is the biggest challenge for HR. So what we did, we did in such a way that we separated automation for overseas countries in a separate platform, and Indian countries, again, Indian clients in one platform. So that we can reduce the effort of elimination of those time zones and pay structures of other countries into Indian pay structures. All those we bifurcated into various platforms. Then we automated initially with payroll. So hiring may be a difficult one. We strategized in such a way, what is that we can immediately go for automation. That helped us to go for automation. So this way we took a lot of challenges implementation of automation in such a big company. So we were successful in automating many tools, but still, if you say in non-IT, going for automation in the workforce is in all domains of HR is a biggest challenge today. So I faced in almost all companies for automation of hiring to retiring. All solutions may not come in one go. It is very difficult for us. We literally failed in that. So what we did, we did in such a way that in a planned way. So what is that we can do immediately? So payroll we can do immediately. So we had gone with a strategy of implementation of payroll across all the locations, automated successfully. We implemented successfully. So after successful one automation of one subdomain of HR, we adopted the second strategy for implementation of hiring platform, hiring through automation. So creating a job description, creating interviews and creating backgrounds, everything through this hiring platform. We were very successful in the second strategy. So like that, once we were successful in payroll, then hiring, then we implemented performance appraisal system through automation. So we created a business plan. We have created objectives for all the business leaders. So pilot project we ran for 1 quarter. So then the performance appraisal system, we created a lot of awareness about the leaders. So first we created an objective, we created key result areas, we have given complete awareness of how to review in that particular tool of creating objectives and reviewing on quarterly basis, providing feedback on one-on-one meeting. All those awareness we have created before going for automation. So we have given workshops, various workshops through video trainings to all our locations. So all our leaders have undergone a lot of training on understanding the objectives, understanding how to upload their objectives, how to clone their objectives with the team members. So we have given a lot of effort before implementation itself. So that has helped us to upload the performance appraisal system in the automated way. The strategy of implementing performance appraisal system has helped us a lot, because the awareness, creating that awareness to leaders is a best strategy before going for automation. See, many people, many HR team leaders, what they do, simply when as a business requirement, we want to go for automation. So in a work-fitting way, we implement the strategy of going for automation and performance appraisal system. So thereby, we may face the what is failure. Because why? Because failure, because we are not created that kind of awareness, we are not given that ownership to the stakeholders. So this is my experience. Again, creating that kind of awareness well before implementation itself has given success in going for automation of performance appraisal system. In today, we are so successful and creating understanding, going automation to the level of civil supervisor can see his what's called quarterly assessments, successfully implementing quarterly review, half-yearly review, annual appraisals through that app. So we were very successful. The journey, if you see automation, it is not possible to go all subdomains of HR in one go. My experience, like really, we had a bad experience. We started initially implementing all subdomains of HR in one go. We literally failed. Then we draw a strategy. So what is that immediately we can go? So easier way, first to subdomain is payroll, then hiring, then the performance appraisal, then the learning systems. So L&D programs we also be initiate. So these are the strategies helps us for going for automation in the major workforce organizations. So in a robust way. So hope I addressed your question. But coming to the outcome and inclusion of you said one question is automation, enhance diversity and inclusion of outcomes within their workforce. Hope I think aligned the answer of your question, right?
Yes, very true, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for that detailed answer. Now, this brings me to my last question. So please walk us through any piece of literature, book, or anything that has shaped your leadership journey.
A lot of books I read, but in today's scenario, our mobiles have mobile phones have really killed our reading habits.
I agree, sir.
So a lot of time we digital way we are like in today's scenario, reading habits are very nominal to many people, but still a lot of people who are voracious readers, even they're using digital apps also for reading. Even I read Medium, I read a lot of stuff in LinkedIn whenever there is a time of traveling. But when it comes to the a transformational change happens in my leadership journey, when I read self-developmental books of Robin Sharma's, all books I read, which one book I always quote and refer in my talks in various leadership forums. So one book has really helped me is Who Will Cry When You Die. So one book is Professor Arvikar's book called Millionaire Mind.
Thanks, Dr. Rasheed, for sharing those insights and those books. I agree. They are really classics that everybody should absolutely read once in their life. Okay, this brings me to the end of this wonderful conversation with you. A big thank you to you for joining us on the CHRO Mindset. I must say that your real life use cases, the insights and the expertise truly showed up, and it has enhanced our episode. We deeply appreciate you for imparting your knowledge. I'm hoping that a lot of people out there would have gained a lot of insights from 3 decades of experience that you hold. Again, thanks a lot for all your time, and thanks a lot again for sharing all those insights.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pekin. I wish you all the best to the listeners, and hopefully we'll catch up again. Thank you so much. All the best. Have a great time. Bye.
Thank you, sir. To all our listeners, your support is highly valued. Stay connected for more enriching discussions with top HR leaders. We hope you found Dr. Rasheed's perspectives super engaging and helpful on today's episode of the CHRO Mindset. And we thank you for tuning in on this episode of the CHRO Mindset. Thanks again for being part of our community. If possible, kindly share your thoughts with us by leaving a review on whatever platform you use to follow us. We would greatly appreciate that. Thanks for listening to the CHRO Mindset podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a review. Join us next week for another insightful conversation with a top HR leader. And if you have any questions or feedback, reach out to us on social media or via email. Thanks again for tuning in. See you next week.